17 overall. Who will be victorious? It's time to find out. Let's jump on in. Over to the casters.
Game 17 is here with 2 to go. One after this one, Panda. We're going to have a bus path from Frenzy up to Shady. $2 million, and the leaderboard is getting closer and closer. We've seen a 600-point lead be broken down to a mere 300 points, putting them in just arm's length to take away Cammy and Yapko's throne. Have to keep a close eye. Hero and Fahad, Thomas, Malabuka, serious contestation to shake things up.
Here we go. Not only the penultimate game of the day, but the penultimate game of the entire competition. We are just one more to go after this, so this is going to be super impactful. Remember, best 5 on the day count. So out of the 6 games, 5 of the best ones will count for each individual duo. So we'll see how that plays out here for teams like Epic Will and Acorn, who need some back-to-back wins. Another team, though, of course, obviously in the distance, or not too far away over at the racetrack, is Malabuka Thomas HD, 3rd place as of now. If they can clear 2 wins or 2 phenomenal finishes in these last games, I should say, they will potentially dethrone Cammy and Yapko. Now, I'm not saying it's a guarantee, but it's definitely a possibility. Mini Miner was just saying how he's been riding alongside that team all weekend. I said it at the end of the pre-show or the post-show yesterday after Game 6 of Day 2. I said, look, come back to this, guys. You can clip it now. Thomas HD, Malabuka finish off this competition winning. I still stand by that statement.
Duke and Clicks. Big adjustments being made here across the days of the competition. With day number 3 with the most on the line. Some more off-spawn engagements. Pablo Wingu talked about it, them being the nomads of this competition. They really have not been able to find a home, switching up their drop spot what seems like every single match. This time, putting a little bit of pressure towards Quinn and Vert. Just trying to loot the outskirts of their own drop. They've been landing here the whole competition, but this time, Pablo and Bevy's taking a piece.
We'll see how it pans out here. Is lots of changes here for the last 2 games. I mean, look, guys, you've had 3 days to make these changes.
Yeah.
What is going on here that we're doing it in Game 17, the 5th game of the final day? So we'll see how it plays out. But Pablo, Wingu, and Bevy's definitely needed something big to change in their favor if they wanted to walk away with a little bit more cash in the pocket here. The surprising, you already know, breaks down and continues to go up from the bottom. So even a few more placements will definitely help the bottom dollar line. However, Zemi, eyes set on Axe Force and Vortexers, who seemingly may not know that they are there. Now, though, Inpen does end up... Oh, this is a brilliant play. Inpen grabbing the car, making it obvious that he's there, so they poke their head out, and Zemi connects the shots. Brilliant, brilliant teamwork here.
Now they spot on him out. Zemi, a little bit split over. Luckily, no shockwaves being used yet to try and target either of them. As Npen breaking things down, literally just taking out some of these roofs to give them some more angles on the enemies in front of them. Axe Force claiming the capture point will give them some extra heals and scanning the other players as well, so they'll realize, confirm the fact that Npen is fully split from Zemi, so immediately rotating away. Andalex taking a lot of shots here. Bad sniper, caught out, 9 HP, looking to replenish some overshield, throwing down a bunker. Forced to really fight here, but just burning shockwaves, moving away. Solo clutch up here. Nikov finding him out of the air. Give them one opportunity in the last game, but that's going to be a trip back to the lobby for them. Nikov and Alex looking to collect a little bit extra of this loot. Pars, Rizandi, same spot here. Haven't really moved much of the competition, so looting up, finding themselves a legendary ice cream. Again, that's the name of the game, right? Just find all the loot you can, then try and play in zone towards at least 6th till you meet that damage threshold in the storm, so then you have to rotate in. But for the time being, just looking to loot up.
Not surprised to see some players being a little bit more reserved, some players taking a little bit more time to get into the fold and get into the fights, and especially with the way that things are starting to dwindle down now as only a few teams remain here. But things will continue to move forward as teams like Bevies and Pablo Wingu know that they need some big shakeups, and Kanata Agers is the first one in the game.
Taken down early here. Bevies and Pablo turning things up. They got 2 games left. Tax and Moo. We've already seen them pick up a VR today. Looking for a repeat. Some solid placements. Definitely their best day so far in this competition. And if there's ever a day to perform better on, it's going to be day number 3. Tagging up Pablo, Bevies, both players in this duo. Fluger opts, getting into the mix now. Smikey and Satam fully split. They'll take the fight around the bunker, catch him out down on the low ground, mantling up Satam, throwing down bunkers just to buy some time, waiting on the duo. Now they're back together. Looks for a 1v2, but Opt and Fluger clean them up.
Beautiful execution here from them. Listen, don't challenge their ridge, guys. This is their ridge for a reason.
I'd stay far away.
Fluger and Opt have been playing this ridge for the last, what feels like, year. So if you're going to challenge them anywhere else on the map, okay, fine. Even after off spawn. But this ridge has been their go-to since day one.
And Bloomer and Lardle decided this is their side of the map at least. Taking out 500K, and Arrow is stuck in the boat, trying to weave around. Not exactly the most enjoyable day on the water as Arrow just moving through, barely escaping. You see Mixon, Blacha, X-Stark, Gentle atop Rumble Ruins. There's plenty of loot in this area, so they won't have any issues. And again, you want to try and stay as close to your drop spot for as long as possible, especially in the jungle where players could be lurking around every corner. So they'll hang out for as long as possible. Quinn and Vert now moving over. Xf is knocked. Dubs a solo. Vert looking inside their own bunker, taking shots from a different direction by some sort of a explosive repeater rifle. Dubs using shockwaves, has 6 in inventory, so plenty of opportunity to get away as long as Dubs and Vert don't connect on too many of these shots. Finds moments to pop some minis, but again, another team getting involved. That's Steady and Tayson cleaning up, finding themselves the rest of those shockwaves in the Cybertron cannon.
So a huge win here for Steady and Tayson, who seemingly haven't found a lot of consistent success here throughout this competition, but never too late to make a one final push here for the top in the last 2 games. But see how it goes, as lots of teams still fighting for this one. Interestingly enough, Slappy Shores, of course, 2 teams still remain, but as we just saw, Steady Tayson, not one of them.
You can see him there, Frenzy Fields, if you turn your eyes towards the bottom left POI. Those 3 little triangles are going to be Cami, Yapko, and Remedy, their NPC. The 3rd member of the trio, it feels like, in this competition. But Malibuka, Thomas HD, talked about the run in this competition. Will take out Kika and Kenzo, game winners of today, with ease here, just connecting on shots. Not really any damage dealt back in their direction. So a nice little pickup. And Penzemi, same idea here. They've had a solid showing at the beginning of day 1, but have been really playing catch-up since.
Catch-up? You sure they're not playing mustard? Ha. Dad joke. Dark now. Gonna hang out here with Gentle. Still doing a good job here of staying in the conversation. Even though Fahad and Hero have claimed the top Middle Eastern team spot, Gentle and Dark are still not too far away, being in 6th place going into the game. Threat to Booga, another team close by, but Blacha looking to challenge.
Ooh.
This is a tough fight. Lots of teams close by.
And Gentle moving their way back up towards the top of Rumble Ruins. He has the mythic MK Alpha. We know how devastating this weapon can be, as Clicks and Duke dwelling below, down in the basement, looking to hold on to any extra loot there in this position, avoiding Gentle and S-Dark, who are putting pressure on any player who comes anywhere near this large temple. One of the highest vantage points in this entire biome, but they know at this point that there's someone down below. Not sure who it is, but they can hear them stomping around, so trying to spot them out, utilizing these flare guns to find out their location. Maybe they're split. Is it a solo or a duo? Just for a little bit of more information, and now it looks like they'll take their respective sides to this drop.
Good spot for them to be in here. as Dark just wants to connect anything that he can. You see him just trying to take out the vehicle there in the distance. That could have been bad for Malibu Thomas HD as they continue to try to fight for the top spot. They're not too far off, but Axe Force going to potentially connect this onto Wox, and that's going to be one knock here for him. But Wox's teammates still in this fight, at least for a few more moments.
Down falls Wox. Vortexers, the teammate of Axe Force, just trying to hold down this position for him as he figured, you know, the teammates got it. I got faith. Epic Whale and Acorn again in this game, a team to watch as we continue to follow through as Fahad here as a solo. Mixon crashing heads. Both players have now traded knocks, so they might be looking for a possible trade in reses, but Fahad, moment to pop this big shield. Mixon, out goes the flare gun. So have an idea of where he is, at least for the time being. Both players now looking, and he'll take to the sky. Shockwave's out, looking. Mixon's caught inside, but caught in the fire. Fahad will take a little bit of damage. Mixon with no options, just to stay inside. The Temple Ruins, no option to rift out. So now both players going to go ahead and trade the res and slow things down because the imminent third party is on its way. The flare guns are out, and they know there's been plenty of noise made.
This is not a good situation for either team.
Oh, no.
As Hero goes back down, Blotcha and Mixon are still healthy in this one. I shouldn't say healthy, actually. Blotcha's pretty weak. But, of course, his teammate Mixon very, very healthy as Dark and Gentle now into the fold. Again, challenging for the one final run here on the leaderboard. Like we talked about before, after day 2's performance, they don't want to finish off slowing down. They want to pick it back up, and they want to go for some big games.
And Gentle and S-Dark the ones to shake things up. Mixon finding the opportunity to get Blotcha back into this one, but shots are sent their way. Gentle connecting on almost every single one. So much damage done to them. Blotcha underneath the ramp of the bunker. Popping some heals, some slap juice, maybe a big pot to get back into the fight. Anas, Pink, brief little look at them in a nice spot above Mega City atop a hill using their own flare gun. Mr. Savage, Vidil, close by. I'm sure they heard all of the shots being exchanged in this three-way battle of Blotcha, Mixon, some of our other top competitors today. They continue to rotate, top the trees. Gentle a far distance away. Everyone just trying to hold on as zone continues to close.
Here we have him, Mixon in the tree. You already know you love the tree plays. Hear from some of our big teams. Malibu Thomas HD just hiding out in the grass. There's Pablo Wingu and Bevy's going to come through here. Shout out Caster Lash, always rooting for this duo. Fortunately, hasn't been the tournament for them, but they want to finish well as big shots onto Mr. Savage.
Wow.
For a moment, honestly, my eye deceived me. I thought it was Malibuca that was collecting the damage from that one, but no, it was Mr. Savage going to go down there in the tree, and it does look like Malibuca Thomas HD may have eyes set on Mixon and Blotcha if they're not careful, and there it is. Big shots onto Mixon. Malibuca seemingly taking off all of the shield of one and looking for the other.
From this distance, this duo can be catastrophic. Dishing out high numbers of damage, but Mixon and Blotcha recovered with ease, with great finesse. Just no shield on them yet, so we'll be looking for a couple. Bloom or Lardle trying to rotate into the zone. They're aware. Subs behind the tree. Lardle finishing it off. That'll make 3 eliminations for the duo. Straight into the vehicle, no hesitation, didn't even bother looting, just hopped right into the car to rotate.
Good play there for them. You know what? They said, we don't have enough time. We just got to move. We got to keep going forward and play the remainder of this game out. And I'm curious, you see all these arrows in the storm. I'm wondering which one is Cammy and Yapko?
You know, I'm going to imagine, if you look around, I see 2, 2, 2, 3. I see 3 moving at a high rate of speed. If I had to guess, it would be the trio of Cammy, Yapko, and Remedy rolling around in the car. But again, this has been a center pulling zone day 3, it feels like. A couple of games, majority of them, it feels like so far, pulling very central. So Bevies and Pablo, since they didn't land too far away over in the snow, have made their way towards something a little bit more center. Because we've seen it before, right? The teams that rotate early on these zones that pull center and take a high elevation position at the right time are the ones that generally pull out the victory.
We'll see if anybody can do it here as Acorn and Epic Whale making their way in. This is a team, again, of course, if Malibu Katamas HD couldn't be disruptive enough, I do think Epic Whale and Acorn could have as well. It's going to be close, though. They are in the top 5 still, and not too far away, actually, from Malibu Katamas HD. But a little bit far away here from the first place spot. It all comes down to this, though, how they can finish these final 2 games out. It's all up to them. But just a note, Epic Whale, Acorn, have not had a single day without a VR. I'm just saying.
Gonna go for the 3-time today on the 3rd day. Could be interesting to see, but if anyone can do it, it's gonna be them. They're definitely contention, even for the top of that leaderboard, if they can heat things up quickly. Malibu Katamas HD, the team to watch right now. Just in front of them outside the bunker. It's gonna be Notch and Source taking the brunt of this pressure. They do have the crack, but not really gonna warrant any sort of a push now. They are inside, or just trying to camouflage themselves in the high grass. Shots are traded back and forth, but more than anything, they're just trying to put the pressure on, show the lobby that, hey, these guys are on high ground and we need to be watching them and putting pressure on.
Yeah, and that's kind of the red flag that you create for yourself at this point in the game.
Yeah.
You can't go for the high ground spot without tons of bunkers surrounding you, or you're going to get focused. I mean, that's just the name of the game, but now the exchange comes through. It looks like Malibu going to win the exchange here a little bit, as Notch forced to back up here and heal up for a bit. Source, very, very weak as well. Curious if he's got any heals to defend himself, but now they're just shooting inward yet again. It looks like Notch just revealed his toes for a second, and Malibu just connects.
I mean, of course, he doesn't miss that. Notch immediately shockwaving away towards Vert and Quinn, so I got a little bit nervous there for a second because they do have a position to look down on them, but nobody's really going to focus them too much. Epic Whale, Acorn, King, and Kame just ahead. 2 different vehicles, 2 different teams respecting each other. Like, hey, we know this is the play. We're going to let you do your thing. Just leave us alone and let us be. As Vert and Quinn decide, hey, we don't have a vehicle. You're going to get punished instead. Acorn, Epic Whale, seeing that pressure being put onto them, kind of turn head a little bit, move left. Zone will pull up towards the top of the snow area, so you have a big cliff side to play and a lot of line of sight cover. This is the kind of area we see Fluger and Ops like to play very frequently, but Epic Whale and Acorn are going to have to battle for this position. Vaniac and Carmi taking to the sky, shockwaving, using the explosive repeater to dish some damage out, but Shotguns battles now. Epic Whale goes down, and now looking for the confirm. Acorn needs to try and make something happen, possibly moving away. Not sure where he is, Panda.
Big loss here for the team of Acorn and Epic Whale, as they needed a massive game here, not only to climb the leaderboard, but to stay in contention for one of those top 5 spots. Now, though, the Medmiz comes out, saving Acorn for a little bit longer. Malibu Katamas HD on the edge. Source and Notch just inward as well. Ooh. They're going to go ahead and just play this as close together, close to the vest. I love this.
Scares me.
It does. It's a little nerve-wracking, to be fair.
I'm getting flashbacks to double Cybertron right now. I'm going to be honest.
Well, don't worry. Shockwaves, bunkers galore are ready in the hands of Thomas HD Malibuca, and no one is looking in their direction.
I mean, if anyone's going to make the right call, they have the competitive experience in lobbies just like this, as Bloomer is not trying to crawl towards some sort of cover, but Notch and Source shockwaving away, not trying to look for any of the loot that might be left on the floor. Thomas HD Malibuca falling into zone just a little bit as Acorn finds Vino, spots him out, finds the confirm. So that'll be at least 1 elimination for the duo here in the last 2 games. Cammy and Yapko still in this. You have to think, Cammy and Yapko have been a very aggressive team. I say aggressive, but they're making smart, calculated decisions to get consistent eliminations. This game and the next, they just need to make sure they get decent placement and they'll be good to go. But Notch and Source have to do something very different. They need to find eliminations, and 1 knock will come through. But there goes Notch. Source, ring around the rosy with N-Pen. Around the corner, lands the shot. There's the elimination, but now looking to try and get the teammate back into it. But there it is, the Cybertron cannon to take him out.
Can't be stopped there in a situation like that. No cover for Source. Ends up going down, but Malibu Katamas HD still in this one. Does pick one up onto Alex. And Yapko flying out with paper? Yes, you did see that correctly. They were both padding out almost the same time as Cammy's just ahead, but Cammy taking a lot of damage. This could be a rough game for them. Booga and Threats now pushing Thomas HD. Going to knock him into Storm there with a shockwave. It could cause some serious damage, but Malibuca going to get ahead of this as he drops down the bunker so they can drop down the hammer in this lobby.
A couple extra shockwaves left for this duo as they will reach the 5 elimination mark for them. Agent Paper down, Booga falling. So big teams getting taken out at this point in the game, because this is where things start to heat up. 16 teams left in this, 28 players. Rizandi gliding through the air pump, connecting some shots. Vidil the one to end things off. Cammy Yapko trading shots with Flugler and Opt will come out, take them both down. Low HP, Yapko finding the time to heal back up as this zone is going to pull a long way away.
It's going to be a tough finish here for a lot of these teams. Of course, Cammy Yapko first place on the leaderboard. Maybe taking a game win. Could we see it here in the final moments as they're going to go ahead and shockwave, but very, very weak is Yapko. They're going to need to play this to perfection. They cannot take unnecessary risk as now they rotate forward. Looking ahead, though, we do have Cammy. Oh, man.
Oh, yeah.
He finds the ice cream cone, and they find the med mist. Big plays there from them, but no, Malibuca going to go down at the hands of Acorn. Still alive in this one. I wasn't sure, but he's still there.
Not the player you want to be brawling with is Acorn now on edge zone, trying to find a spot in zone. Thomas HD holding him back, but we'll take him out as well. Both players down. Acorn still clutching up for Epic Whale in this game. Shockwaving towards the front side. Sees a nice little plateau to try and stay up and use natural cover. A little bit of a flashback though in this endgame. Malibuca using that Cybertron cannon to get big damage.
Yapko goes down there. That's Cammy and Yapko out of this one. Acorn making a big push here to finish off this game. This could be exactly what the Acorn and Epic Whale need to climb the leaderboard.
And here it is, Acorn still in this one, taking a lot of damage, but taken down and out by Seti and Tayson, who's still in this game. Seti absolutely fragging out, 5 eliminations, sending down the Cybertron on the Vortexers, who it connects on, but it's going to be Kame. The other side of the wall, Tayson not really with the teammate at this point. Looks like they're both playing possibly for solo, but there it is. There it is, MK7 connecting, Tax finding that one. Moo and Tax, both in this game.
This is huge from them. Remember, going into this one, they were in 8th place. Another big game for Moo and Tax will easily climb them up, potentially into the top 5. Really depends on how this finishes out, as Dark Gentle still in this one too.
Here it is, Seti Tayson. 6 eliminations on Seti's behalf. Moo and Tax fall there. In a 1v2 situation, they're low HP. Vidil deep in zone, no heals, no option. Will fall there. Seti not able to connect on the last shot to get the confirm, so Vidil just taking out the Storm Pump deep in, looking to try and connect, but Gentle S-Dark takes him out. 46 HP, shockwaving towards the front side of zone. Now, just looking for any sort of cover to try and look back. Vortexers also falling in the zone. Gentle's a solo, finds the time to pop the Slurpfish, but Tayson and Seti finally finding their moment. 7 eliminations in the Victory Royale with 1 game to go.